Welcome to the Deep Dive. We are jumping straight into episode 343 of the AI Brief. And this week, well, it feels like a week that just completely resets what we should expect from AI.
It absolutely does. I'm here to help you unpack all the implications because today we're really digging into some major competitive moves. A lot of them are coming out of Asia, and they are setting some incredibly aggressive new benchmarks for the rest of the world.
Okay, so our mission today is really to give you that shortcut to being on the cutting edge. We're going to break down three, I'd say, huge shifts. First, this massive price disruption from DeepSeek.
Then the huge leaps forward in photorealistic AI video from companies like Runway and Kling.
And finally, we'll touch on the key market moves shaping the whole ecosystem, from Amazon sales data all the way to NVIDIA's investment strategy.
We really have to unpack this right away. The landscape is, it's changing by the hour. We should start with DeepSeek. This is the Chinese startup that, has a history of shaking things up.
Right, their last release, R1, that was the one that sparked all those discussions about chip export controls.
Exactly. And their newest move is, if anything, even more aggressive. They've just launched V3.2 and a more refined version they're calling V3.2 Specially.
And the performance claims here, they aren't just small steps forward. It sounds like they are designed to challenge the very top models out there.
That's right. We are talking about 685 billion parameter reasoning models. Just for some context, that massive scale means DeepSeek is now playing on the same field with similar compute as the proprietary giants like GPT-5 and Gemini 3 Pro.
So they're not just aiming for the middle of the pack, they're going straight for the crown.
They are. They say V3.2 matches or nearly matches those competitors on really hard metrics: advanced math, tool use, complex coding. The special variant in particular has been impressing a lot of reviewers.
The validation is so important here. I mean, where did Specially actually prove it was that good, outside of their own lab?
In an actual competition. The Specially model got gold medal scores at the 2025 International Math Olympiad. Wow.
And the Informatics Olympiad, too, placing number 10 overall at the IOI. So this confirms that this level of reasoning, it's not just a demo. It is validated, state-of-the-art capability.
Which brings us to what might be the most disruptive part of all of this, the economics.
Yes?
They aren't just releasing it, they are open sourcing it. MIT license. Weights are right there on Hugging Face for anyone.
And that MIT license is so crucial. It means anyone, competitors, researchers, big companies, can take this incredibly powerful tech and use it for commercial products without paying a licensing fee to DeepSeek.
So what about API access? They have to offer that to cover their costs. What's the killer detail there?
Okay, so the pricing for V3.2 is just astonishing. It's 28 cents for input.
28 cents.
Per million tokens,
Aye.
And 42 cents for output. Now, let's put that in perspective for you. The premium models from US labs, they charge so much more.
I mean, we're talking dollars, not cents. Like, what, $2, $3? Sometimes more. Way more. Gemini 3 Pro can be $2 for input, $12 for output. Some are even $3 and $15.
That's not just a small price difference. That's a complete change in what frontier AI costs. You're talking about nearly state-of-the-art performance for, 95% less than the market leaders?
It forces a really brutal reassessment for the market. I mean, if you can get top-tier reasoning for basically nothing, what are the U.S. labs even selling? Their value has to shift. Is it security now? Is it private integration?
Or does the whole business model just flip from API fees to something else like fine-tuning services on proprietary data?
And you have to ask, were the premium providers just that inefficient? If another company can do this so much cheaper, what were they spending all that money on that drove their costs up so high?
That feels like the biggest question for the industry right now. Cost is suddenly the main differentiator.
It is.
Okay, let's pivot from reasoning to visuals, because the AI video world also had a massive shakeup at the same time.
Yes, it did. Runway, who's been kind of a quiet force, just released Gen 4.5. This was codenamed Whisper Thunder.
I heard internally they called it David, which says a lot about their ambitions.
It does. It's a real David versus Goliath situation, and according to the early data, David is winning. Runway says 4.5 is a new frontier and it shot them straight to the top of the artificial analysis leaderboard for text-to-video.
And that's the industry benchmark, right?
Yeah.
The objective comparison.
It is, and the improvements are all about realism and physical accuracy. The model is specifically designed to handle really complex visuals, realistic physics, fluid dynamics, human movement.
Things like hair texture or how fabric moves. I mean, in the old models, those were the details that would always break and give away that it was AI.
Precisely. The whole goal here is consistency across frames. Runway is claiming the outputs are, and this is a quote, indistinguishable from real-world footage.
That's a huge claim.
It is. For you, if you're a professional creator, this means you could cut production time from days down to hours. You don't have to manually fix all those little continuity mistakes anymore.
But the competition is moving just as fast. We have to talk about Kuaishou, the Chinese startup, and their new model, Kling-01.
Right. Kling-01 is really interesting because it's not just for generating video. It's an integrated system for creation and editing. The goal is for it to be a one-stop shop.
And they do this with something they call multimodal editing, which sounds like a pretty big leap.
It's a huge leap. O1 can handle up to 7 different inputs at once. It can understand images, video clips, subjects, text, all at the same time. This gives you a level of control we've really only seen in, high-end post-production software.
So give me an example. How would you actually use that kind of granular control?
Okay, so you could take a video clip, real or generated, and just use simple text commands to edit it. You could say, remove the bystanders in the background.
Oh.
Or change the lighting to look like nighttime. Or even something like, change the character's jacket to blue leather. The model just does it while keeping everything else in the scene consistent.
That's a game changer. It feels like that moment when text-based editing got really good for still images and suddenly unlocked all these efficiencies.
And Kling is backing it up. Their internal tests show O1 winning against big competitors like Google's VO 3.1 and even Runway's earlier models on these complex editing tasks. It just shows that generation and editing are quickly becoming the same thing. The speed of progress here is just staggering.
So we have this incredible acceleration in both reasoning and visuals at the same time. The competitive pressure across the whole tech stack must be immense.
It's a race for efficiency and a race for quality, and clearly the global competitors aren't waiting for the U.S. to lead the way.
All right, let's slow the pace down just a bit because the wider ecosystem also saw some major moves this week. These affect everything from how we shop to big infrastructure investments.
We can start with some really powerful confirmation from Amazon about their AI assistant, Rufus. The data they've shared confirms that AI is actively guiding how consumers spend their money.
They reported that during busy times, like Black Friday, shopping sessions that were assisted by Rufus saw a 75% daily increase in purchases.
And that's compared to only a 35% increase for sessions without Rufus. So the AI isn't just a helper, it is directly driving a significant economic activity.
Turning to funding in the market, Black Forest Labs, which recently put out that very impressive Flux Point 2 image model, just announced a new funding round.
A pretty significant one, $300 million. And this new injection of cash valued the company at $3.25 billion.
That valuation is so important because it really shows that the market is still willing to reward companies that deliver new foundational models, even in a specific niche like image generation. The money is still flowing, and it's flowing fast.
And on the enterprise side of things, we saw a major strategic partnership form between Accenture and OpenAI. They're working to get ChatGPT Enterprise into the hands of tens of thousands of Accenture consultants immediately.
And that's not just for their own internal use, right? Accenture is also launching a whole deployment program to help its big clients, the Fortune 500s, build and implement their own custom AI agents. This kind of partnership just speeds up the enterprise adoption cycle so much.
Speaking of these strategic moves, OpenAI is also taking an ownership stake in Thrive Holdings, which is owned by one of its major investors, Thrive Capital.
That move is really designed to scale their impact across different enterprise operations, cementing those high-level relationships and making sure everyone is aligned on strategy.
And of course, none of this happens without the chips themselves. NVIDIA made a very notable $2 billion investment and announced a multi-year partnership with the chip design software company Synopsys.
This partnership is aimed specifically at using AI to speed up the whole design and engineering process for the next generation of chips.
Exactly. The bottleneck isn't just making the chips anymore, it's how fast you can design and iterate on them. And NVIDIA is using its capital and its own AI tools to solve that problem.
Finally, over in the gaming world, there's a really interesting debate starting thanks to Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic Games. He is actively lobbying for game marketplaces like Steam to get rid of the Made with AI tags.
His argument is that very soon, AI is going to be involved in almost all game production, from textures to code to story, and that makes a label like that pretty much meaningless.
It seems like that's the clearest sign yet that AI is no longer a special feature. It's just becoming part of the assumed technology like a game engine or cloud services.
It's becoming invisible infrastructure. We're moving past the point where we even have to point it out.
All right, let's wrap up with our rapid-fire review of today's trending AI tools. These are the apps and models getting major traffic this week that you can go and explore right now.
First up, the models we covered today, DeepSeek v3.2 and the special variant. They are trending as the new go-to for powerful open source reasoning with that incredible cost efficiency.
Followed right behind by Runway Gen 4.5. That's the new top-rated video model for cinematic realism and physics. And of course, Kling O1, the video model that specializes in understanding multiple inputs and doing that high-precision text-based editing.
Next, we're seeing Dreamlux trending. This is a tool focused on creating videos from text or images, but without any watermarks. It gives you clean, commercial-ready output right away.
Taskade is also trending heavily, mostly for its use case in building live applications. It can integrate custom agents, it has memory, workflow automation, making it a really complete tool for business process management.
And if you're looking for a quick learning tool, Turbo is getting a lot of use. It basically transforms content like a web page or a document into structured notes, flashcards, or quizzes so you can absorb information faster.
And finally, Extra Thursday is getting a lot of traffic as a productivity tool for communication. Its whole utility is letting you chat with your email inbox, get summaries, and draft emails really fast using its AI integration.
So to synthesize all of this for you, the main takeaway is this. The price for high-end frontier AI is absolutely collapsing, and it's being driven by these open-source competitors. This means premium providers have to find totally new business models.
And all this cost pressure is happening at the exact same time that creative tools are accelerating at a breathtaking pace, pushing video closer and closer to photorealism and giving us unprecedented editing control.
The bar for state-of-the-art is shifting every single week, and it's the accessibility of these powerful models that will really define what comes next.
So considering that convergence of price and capability and the fact that basic reasoning is becoming almost a free commodity, we have to ask.
Is AI about to become something more like a heavily regulated public utility instead of a high-cost proprietary service for enterprises?
Remember to follow and share the deep dive if you found this exploration useful.
See you in the next deep dive.